morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a little bit of a look at a new Gumshoos card. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't do this very often, but we are looking at this particular Gumshoos card because it is absolute trash. I know, right? Sorry. Gumshoos hasn't had a huge amount of luck in the Pokemon TCG, if I'm honest with you. It's not received a huge amount of good cards. We can have a bit of a Gumshoos debrief at the end. But I want to start off talking about this new Gumshoos because there are so many things going against this new Gumshoos that I think we need to stop and take a look at it and go, what did Gumshoos do? So starting off with the basics, it's got 100 HP. It's a stage 1. Zapdos is not the beefiest basic ever, and it's a basic, and it's got 110. So, yeah, the HP sucks. But it gets worse than that, because it's weak to fighting. Now, with stuff like Pikachu and Zekrom running around, Electro Power makes electric Pokemon or lightning Pokemon good right now. People are playing fighting Pokemon to try and counter it, but it gets worse. Because one of the best fighting Pokemon we've got at the moment is Buzzwole. And some people might go, yeah, but Buzzwole's only really good when your opponent's got 4 prizes remaining. And generally that's true. But Buzzwole decks also play Diancie Prism Star, and would you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Diancie Prism Star puts the single energy attack up to 50, which with your weakness puts you up to 100. Oh look, you got 100 HP. It's all working against you. There's no resistance. You are a colourless Pokemon, which means that you don't get any extra tricks. I can't even say double colourless energy anymore, because double colourless energy is rotated. Whoopsie daisy. And you're hitting nothing for weakness. Now, the one thing I will say, it does have a retreat cost of 1, which means either a skateboard will give you free retreat or U-turn board will give you free retreat. They both reduce your retreat cost by 1, but a skateboard lets you retreat while asleep or paralysed, and U-turn board, if it is discarded from play, goes back to your hand. And that is just about the best thing about Gumshoos, which should tell you how bad this is. You see, Gumshoos has 1 attack, yeah that's right, it doesn't even have a second attack. And that attack for 2 colourless energy does 90 damage. And 90 damage isn't completely terrible. But if your opponent's active Pokemon is an EX or a GX, this attack does 30 damage. 30! Now, I just want to go through this very quickly, because I want to make my thoughts known about this. EX and GX Pokemon are better than your regular Pokemon. So you have to try a little bit harder to get rid of them. We don't like them. And we've just seen them get a couple of big advantages. We just saw them get Cherish Ball, I'll pop a link to that in the description, which lets you search for any GX Pokemon, put it in your hand, bearing in mind that post-rotation we're not going to have stuff like Ultra Ball or Nest Ball, so this just gives GX a huge advantage over regular Pokemon. And just the other day we had a look at Great Potion, which heals 50 from your active Pokemon GX. Yeah, for some reason they're getting a whole bunch of help lately, and I'm not entirely sure why. And now Gumshoos comes along and they're like, ha ha ha, you're doing 30. To put this into some kind of context, if you're against something like a Blacephalon, that is a 6-hit KO. That's right, 6-hit KO. That's a lot. If you go up to something like Naganadel, you're up to a 7-hit KO. That's a bit of a problem. If you then go further up to Pikachu and Zekrom, you're up to an 8-hit KO. If you want to go for Celebi and Venusaur, you're up to a 9-hit KO. Just ignore the fact that they're actually going to be healing every turn with stuff like Shaman and Life Force Prism Star. It's essentially an infinite hit KO. So I just wouldn't worry about it. You hit for 30 if they've got 2 Shaman out there, just healing every turn anyway. So, yeah, you're just not KOing them. And then if you want to go right up to something like Magikarp and Wailord, that's a 10-hit KO. 10 hits! And again, they're likely to be playing a little bit of healing as well. You're doing enough damage that a potion will completely heal. But what's the I hear you shout? It's not always going to be fighting an EX or a GX, and you're right. And look, pre-rotation, I could maybe make an argument for it, because you'd have double colourless energy, and this would be single energy attachment, 90 damage. And look, 90 damage is fine. You'll take out a Jirachi, that'll go down, and you'll take out a Malamar, although you won't be getting stuff like Zapdos and Naganadel, so don't get too excited. And you'll take out evolving Pokemon, you'll take out Grubbin, while also taking out Charger Bug, for instance. So there are a few Pokemon you're KOing. And look, post-rotation, we're still going to have triple acceleration energy. Okay. And that will pay the attack in one go. But I keep showing you really good Pokemon that can use triple acceleration energy. Aerodactyl is a stage 1 that, as long as you don't have any EX or GXs on the field yet, it's in your control, you do 180 damage. That's double. Or, 6 times as much if you're defending Pokemon as an EX or a GX. For the same energy attachment. Except it's also got more HP. And it does have a resistance. And it's got a first attack. Yeah, this is not winning in a head-to-head battle against Aerodactyl in terms of who's better. Maybe if we had double colourless energy, but we don't. The thing is, we're losing Choice Band, but Choice Band doesn't even matter because Choice Band puts you from 30 to 60. It's still 30 less than you should usually be doing. And the fact of the matter is, if you want a stage 1 Pokemon that attacks for 2 energy, we can do better. I mean, Spiritombs are basic that for 1 energy can get up to 160. Or we've got Stunfisk, who is often played with Spiritomb incidentally, that can do 180. As long as all of your Pokemon have got damage counters on. For a double colourless energy, and it's a basic. No, there is one potential argument here, and that is you chuck it into the expanded format, and you play it with stuff like Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon, that will turn this into a different type of Pokemon. So now all of a sudden your fire type, or your water type, or your lightning type. Here's the thing though. You're still not getting a one-hit KO on an EX or a GX, because you're only doing 60 with weakness. So you can essentially play this, and you will have double colourless energy, with other stage 1s, so that you can get one-hit KOs on non-GX Pokemon. And even if you wanted to do that, why would you not just play Vespiquen? Or Flareon, either of whom they both do 20 damage plus 10 for each Pokemon in your discard pile, and they both have a typing to begin with, and they can both get up quite a bit higher, and they both have another attack. This is such a bad card. It's like hilariously bad. And the thing is, Gumshoos did have a decent GX. The ability let you look at your opponent's hand once during your turn, and the GX attack does 10 damage plus 50 more for each energy attached to the defending Pokemon. So if they load up one Pokemon with energy, maybe a Reshiram and Charizard, or in fact any tag team GX when they're getting ready to use their GX attack with the extra effect, with the extra damage, and yeah, that's kind of cool. Also, free energy 100 is still better than this Gumshoos. We got the Gumshoos from Ultra Prism. I mean, look, at least if your opponent had a Pokemon in the hand, you did 100 for 2 energy. There was also another Gumshoos that just never made it out over here, but don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, it's rubbish. I don't know what Gumshoos did to someone at the Pokemon trading card game. I don't know whether one of the designers just looked at it and decided for some reason that they hate it, but oh my goodness, if this is not one of the worst and most pointless cards we've had in an extremely long time. This is not a good card. Do not get excited. I'm giving it 1 Wassy. I don't know if I've ever given 1 Wassy before, but I'm feeling a little bit poorly today. And why? That's why I'm giving it 1 Wassy. Why? Just that word. But maybe you agree with me, maybe you disagree. Either way, let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/TheWassy. patreon.com/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WhatsYPlays, where we talk about games that don't have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.